Huh? Oh, hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened.
If you like Sherlock Holmes and Lovecraftian stuff, this may be your spoon of potato salad. Here you become Sherlock Holmes and find yourself at the heart of terrifying Cthulhu mythos as you investigate a series of mysterious disappearances in Europe and the United States. Those are apparently linked to a dark cult that worships an ancient god. Whatever their plan is, you must put a stop to it, or, face unspeakable consequences. Yeah, all that sounds nice, but can I join the cult? Can I worship the ancient god as well? What if Sherlock decided that his life of investigations is boring and being a servant for a Dagon himself is a more fulfilling experience? I doubt that, but it would be nice if you could actually choose the unexpected way. Metal Eden. In this single-player first-person shooter, the best qualities of Doom, Unreal Tournament and Quake merge into a non-stop action carnage. You are an advanced battle android and your mission is to kick everyone's ass who is not agreeing with you that pineapples don't belong in any potato salad. The game has probably the worst game description on Steam I have ever seen in my life, and as a writer I wanted to gorge my eyes out, but I decided not to. Anyway, they are way better game developers than they are writers, and here you will test your skill against robotic, cybernetic, artificial enemies like never before. Okay, like many times before, but only those actually good times, I promise. You will shoot, bash, slide, electrocute and harness your superior agility in acrobatic combat. The game is quite short, around 5 hours of your boring life will be made better by it, and very positive review score can confirm that with ease. People on Steam are saying that Metal Eden is a very fast boomer shooter that will take you back to your youth when you had at least double the amount of hair on your head. No worries, you know how they say, every hair lost is an IQ point gained. Nah, nobody says that. I'm sorry, your IQ is probably worse now. Just enjoy the game, it's great. Dragon Ball FighterZ. So in this Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter inspired game you can finally fulfill your ultimate fantasy and win against Goku as Mr. Satan. Well, at least try, I can remember how I was skipping school to not miss the episodes. I don't think I ever attended the last lesson at school for 2 years because of that, and the last lesson was always French or math. That's why je ne parle pas français and I can't count past 10. Except if I suspect my boss is doing shenanigans with my salary, then I can count way better than my math teacher ever did. But I don't have a boss, because just as I said, I skipped school and nobody wanted to hire me. So I had to become a YouTuber and be my own boss. But hey, I'm broadcasting a wrong lesson here. Don't skip school. School is important and cool. You can work hard in school and then work hard and have a boss. Like in Dragon Ball Z, many bosses will become a part of your life, except you can't beat them even if you want.
Still, a wrong message, ColdBeer, a wrong message.
Shit, anyway, as I've said many times, do not take life advice from me. Only gaming advice. If you are a fan of Dragon Ball Z, nothing will bring you closer to beloved anime than games like these. Age of Wonders 4. At first this game may look really complex, it is filled with tens or even hundreds of various tiny statistics, resources, skills, traits and so on, and that can be really overwhelming. But when I played it I remember the golden rule of any game. Just play it as you can and learn along the way. And it worked. It's actually not that complex and explanations here are great. Also, a very cool thing here is that immediately after you launch the game you are provided with the opportunity to create your own faction. Here you can create cannibal moles or necromancer frogs, orcs of light, or anything you can imagine and officially name them as well. To be short, you can break stereotypes as you like. The combat, of course, is the most fun and most interesting thing in the game. Age of Wonders 4 has an incredible amount of different units made with this cool faction creation tool, from fire gremlins to holy moles with wings and nimbuses. Yeah, holy moly is actually here. Battle arenas are gorgeous as well. The design is really pretty and eye-catching. Most of them are filled with some shining details that create this magical atmosphere in which many things die. This is a great game, especially if you like the previous parts or if you are a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic. Tempest Rising. Many real-time strategy and especially Command & Conquer fans were waiting for something like this for years. You know, a modern game with a true nostalgia in its heart. The factions here are each with its own approach to combat and economy. Also, a built-in customization options allows you to approach the game your way, in both single and multiplayer game modes. Here you'll find 2 single-player campaigns with voiced mission briefings and 3 different game modes. You can lose to AI opponents in custom games, lose even more in multiplayer matchmaking, or go nuts and lose in skirmish mode with up to 500 units per team. People on Steam are saying that this is a very well done modern RTS game with all the best traits of Command & Conquer. Just keep in mind that this is not a Command & Conquer game, it's just a standalone project inspired by the series, so don't expect familiar units, although Easter eggs are guaranteed. Anyway, constant updates and a very positive review score makes this a treat for every RTS fan. Gloomhaven. At first this was made as a tabletop game, and as it reached incredible popularity it was remade into a video game as well. It has all the features of dungeon crawlers like Darkest Dungeon, but stands out of the rest with a cool twist of 3D setting. So here you will lead your band of mercenaries through this unforgiving place where every move is crucial. Yeah, you sneeze, you die. No, probably not, but you get the point. You will have to carve your way through dungeons, forests and dark caves filled with horrific monsters to reap your rewards, or die trying, possibly the latter, over and over again. People are talking that this game will surprise you with the amount of unique monsters, high replay value and 100 hours of content, but it can scare you away with its very steep learning curve, so don't expect anything easy, it's not your sister. Outer Wilds. This is one of the best indie games you can find in general. It was named Game of the Year by Giant Bomb, Polygon, Eurogamer and The Guardian, so that alone should grab your attention. If it grabs something else, call the police, or grab back, I don't judge. Here you are, the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. You will have to gather wisdom for the glory of your nation, because you are the one responsible for exploring outer space. When I played the game, I flew directly towards the sun and died, so believe you me, controlling this spaceship is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Well, I'm probably exaggerating a bit, but it is as difficult as it is fun as well. The spaceship is very responsive, so during your adventures you will have to find out what lurks in the heart of the ominous Dark Bramble, who built the alien city on the moon. Well, obviously aliens, but you know what I mean. Can the endless time loop be stopped, and why is potato salad so delicious? Answers await you in the most dangerous reaches of space. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, so you can't be wrong with this one. What Remains of Edith Finch. Overwhelmingly positive review score should grab your attention. 17-year-old Edith Finch is the last surviving member of the eccentric Finch family. All of her closest relatives and family have died violently at a young age, leading to rumors about a family curse. Now she's on her way to her Finch mansion, a bizarre ramshackle building hidden deep within the forest of the state of Washington. Once there, she intends to research her family's history and learn the truth behind the alleged curse. While this can sound like a horror game, it's actually just a tale about one family that is more interesting than your family, or mine. People are saying that this is more than just a game, it is a unique form of art. Solasta, Crown of the Magister. You'll discover the shattered world of Solasta, explore ruins and dungeons for legendary treasures, learn the truth of an age-old cataclysm and stop it from happening again. You will be able to create your own party of adventurers in the classic tabletop RPG tradition. The choices you will make while choosing various skills, traits and backstories of your heroes will reflect in their dialogue. You know, if some of them are born in Potato Saladistan, they will always be enemies with the guys who put pineapple in their potato salad. And with these characters you will dive into long-forgotten dungeons to unearth ancient artifacts. But stay watchful of light and darkness. Many dangers hide in the dark, but a light can attract monsters as well. Some enemies have dark vision, some may flee from your torch, but, you know, as I always say, the best way to light your way is with fireballs. It doesn't really matter if your enemies have dark vision or not, a fried monster is always better than a raw monster, so the game is pure treasure for a CRPG fans, and also it includes Dungeon Manager, so you can make your own stories and maps, or play some good ones created by way more talented people than you. Deep Rock Galactic. This is a 1 to 4 players first-person shooter featuring badass space dwarfs and 100% destructible environments. Here you can play alone or work together with other players as a team to dig, explore and fight your way through a massive cave system filled with hordes of deadly enemies and valuable resources. Pick some powerful guns like flamethrowers, Gatling guns, portable platform launchers, and show those puny aliens who's the boss. Dwarfs may be small, but they are really powerful. We in Lithuania have a saying,
Neugis or smugis.
meaning not the size, but the punch is what really matters. And your punch is really, you know, probably weak in real world, but really impactful for the alien population in these dangerous caves. People on Steam are talking that there is no reason not to play this game, and I have to agree. Show those monsters the true meaning of extinction.
Rock and stone, baby.
Atom RPG Trudograd, or as I call it, Soviet Fallout Union. Because it is basically a Fallout game, just here instead of a wanderer you will be called Comrade a lot. You will be thrown into alternative history. In 1986 the Soviet Union and the Western Bloc were destroyed in mutual nuclear bombings, and you are one of the survivors of the nuclear holocaust. Your mission is to explore the wild and wondrous world of the Soviet wasteland. Because, you know, you can get wasted here in so many meanings. For example, once I just ran into a minefield and died. I just ignored some danger mine signs and went to communist paradise with angry people standing in long lines to buy some doctor's sausage made from cardboard, perestroika everywhere, and Belomorka Nalt cigarettes. Or maybe to communist hell full of capitalist money, sex and supermarkets. Anyway, here you will stream for the better communist tomorrow, and along with that you will have to investigate stuff, various stuff, a lot of stuff. Trudograd is the second part of Atom RPG, but it's completely standalone piece. You don't need to know anything from the first part. And to be honest, I like Trudograd way more than the first part, so I'm recommending it instead. Also keep in mind that this is not a Russian game. You can buy it and you won't be supporting Putin in any way. That is great. EVERSPACE 2. This is a fast-paced, single-player space shooter. Here you'll explore a world ravaged by war. A massive handcrafted area is packed with secrets, puzzles, and perils to encounter. Also, the game is looter-shooter, so every enemy you slay will give you something nice. Here you are a clone pilot seeking your place in the universe. The events of your past tangles with clashing factions as the world around approaches a boiling point. You will have to escape colonial capture, navigate the intrigues of local warlords, evade energy-maddened cultists, and fend off war-hungry aliens. Yeah, those bastards want to rule the part of the galaxy you live in, so you will discover alien species, unveil mysteries, find hidden treasures, and defend your cargo against outlaw gangs. The campaign spans for 30 hours, a very nice amount for a single-player game. But this is just a tip of a dick. Completionists can dive deep into the EverSpace universe and spend more than 90 hours to complete every side mission, finish every challenge, and discover every hidden secret. So if you really like the game, it will give you more challenges as well. People who play the game are agreeing on one thing. This game has no BS, it actually feels like video game where you have to control a spaceship and shoot things down. Also, it has RPG elements and great customization options. Just Cause 3. The Mediterranean Republic of Medici is suffering under the control of a dictator with a huge appetite for power. So this is some kind of Mediterranean Belarus, and you have to show them what freedom looks like. And here it looks like death and explosions of dictator's troops and allies. Here you will be given complete vertical freedom. Skydive, base jump, and freedive in an open world the size of 1,000 square kilometers, so you can create chaos in all of this land and have a lot of fun. People on Steam are saying that the game is very fun and has almost zero boring moments. The grappling hook and the wingsuit will help you to fly around and cause havoc, and this experience will keep you entertained for hours. To be exact, about 18 hours of your boring life will be made better by this game. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Here you as a young Sherlock Holmes will struggle to prove yourself as you navigate an exotic dangerous island. Deep within the Mediterranean you will investigate the mystery of your mother's death. Your legacy is written by the decisions you make. Deception, violence and deduction are just a few resources in your arsenal. Whether you choose brute force to solve your problems or stay one step ahead of your enemies by using your wits to spot vulnerabilities, you decide what each situation demands as you hone your investigative skills. It's it's time to confront your past so you can become the legend you are destined to be. People on Steam are saying that this is a great game, although many are complaining that the open world part is an overkill. You know, running vast distances from one object to another feels a bit like a fetch quest. Nevertheless, it still has around 80% of positive review score on Steam, so put it into your wishlist and wait for a sale. The Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria. So this is a Lord of the Rings game that focuses on dwarves and their shenanigans. Here you will embark on an adventure to reclaim your legendary home of Moria, beneath the Misty Mountains. You can go alone or join forces with other players to survive, craft, build and explore the legendary mines teeming with danger. Here you will mine ore to craft gear and resources. But beware, mining makes noise, and noise created in the quiet deep threatens to awaken the dangers below. Remember when Pippin touched a skeleton and that was kinda enough to awaken Balrog for the second time? Yeah, you want to avoid that. You know, monsters are just trying to sleep and you are that noisy neighbor everyone hates. Yeah, you are not the good guy. So this open world base building survival crafting game has very positive reviews and you can play it together with your mother-in-law to strengthen your bond. Smalland: Survive the Wilds. You'll traverse puddles as big as a lake, scale skyscraper-sized trees and scramble through cavernous cracks in roads as you explore a huge open world from a new perspective. Well, honestly, we all saw this in Grounded already, but that game is obviously oriented to a younger audience, and Smalland is more like a traditional open world RPG with heavy crafting and survival elements. Yeah, keep that in mind. The game is filled with various challenges. The squirrel gangs that see you as a walking peanut can be a little overwhelming and add an unexpected twist to your tiny adventures. One of the coolest things is that you can ride various creatures, and not only on the ground, there are plenty of flying mounts as well. And for me, after flying for countless hours in Hogwarts Legacy, it's very hard to go back to any game that doesn't have this feature. Anyway, you can play the game alone or with friends. Also, if you are afraid of spiders, fair warning, you are a pussy. I'm kidding, I just wanted to stress out that here you will encounter some realistically looking and moving spiders that may not be compatible with your raging arachnophobia. Monster Sanctuary. Some time ago something happened and platformer games started to develop deepness. Monster Sanctuary is one of those examples when you put a huge interesting game into a 2D side-scrolling setting. Basically it's sort of a Pokemon game where you collect various monsters and use them for your own interest and pleasure. They do all the hard work for you and you gain all the benefits, so they are basically your slaves and have no free will of their own. They have to serve their master overlord and never think about returning to nature ever again, because once you enslave them, that's it, they are bound to your will, and somehow here, you are still a good guy. GTFO. This is a 4-player cooperative game. Good news for you, since you are obviously short of friends, the vacuum of your life can be filled with bots here. Playing with them can be irritating at first, but when you learn their mechanics, it's actually quite fun.
Said every lonely person ever.
Oh, shut up. Of course, game developers still recommend playing with real people since the game requires a level of communication and tactical combat, and a good strategy is necessary to win the game. Many of the creatures of GTFO are suspended in state of hibernation, so light, noise and vibrations can easily wake these sleepers up. Better leave your multi-purpose, noisy, vibrating flashlight at home, so if one of the creatures knows you are there, they all know. Be cautious when deciding on shooting. This game will truly test your patience, since it is a hardcore shooter and it doesn't have a difficulty setting. Although despite the fact that the graphics and atmosphere are amazing, GTFO can become quite repetitive rather quickly. Warhammer 40k Speed Freeks. So let's start with the fact that it's time for you to subscribe. Just do it. And if you like Warhammer, Mario Kart, Death Race and, I guess, World of Tanks, this is something that may lock in your attention. In this online PvP game you will drive ferocious vehicles equipped with powerful weapons and abilities into a full-throttle battle to the death. Here you can choose from various classes of machines, including buggies, tanks and support wagons, each with unique abilities, weapons and playstyle. You will race the war-torn maps in 2 8-player team battles against each other, or drive around freely in any map and create custom races. The game has a very positive review score, and the downside is that on a casual day there may not be enough players to fill the lobby quickly, or if honestly at all, but I guess today it's not that day. Drive fast and be deadly. Riddles and Sieges. This is a medieval puzzle game where you use all siege weapons to solve puzzles. So let's be fair, when some castle was under siege in the medieval times, a warlord had to solve the puzzle. How to crack walls, how to tactically lay out ballistas and trebuchets, how to enter the enemy's stronghold, milk all the citizens and rape all the goats. Well, I might have confused a thing or two, but the fact is, every medieval siege was an actual puzzle. So here each building works and attacks differently. For example, a catapult shoots over a tile, trebuchet does the same but has a delay before attacking, and ballista only attacks when being destroyed.
Wait, what?
I know, whatever man. So here you'll encounter 55 handcrafted levels, with each one being harder than the previous one. Also, you can make your own levels and test your friends. Hell Let Loose. This is a hardcore World War II first-person shooter with epic battles consisting of 100 players, with infantry, tanks, artillery, a dynamically shifting frontline, and a unique resource-based RTS-inspired metagame. People on Steam are saying that 80% of the time you will spend either dead, walking, or under artillery fire. You can spawn half of the time without getting insta-killed by bombs or accurate bullets, but the fact is that you don't mind. Those few moments when you kill somebody who has just spawned are precious, and you would not give them up for anything. And very positive reviews of this game ain't gonna let me lie to you. Only disadvantage here is the price. It's still quite high. Well, not as high as Snoop Dogg or Seth Rogen though. Batman, the Telltale series. Here you'll make discoveries that will shatter Bruce Wayne's world and the already fragile stability of a corrupt Gotham City. Also, your choices will determine the fate of the Batman. Just like in Telltale's The Walking Dead series, here you can choose your own adventure and dive deep into this cool visual novel. The game includes 5 episodes, and as people on Steam are saying, this is a great adaptation with interesting characters of the Batman franchise. Voice acting is nice, the script is engaging, and if you like games like that, it's almost a must-play. You know, seriously, there aren't many great visual novels you can play, especially not on this level. One nitpicky thing that may discourage you is that if you choose a non-violent path, the game will probably fail to react accordingly in several situations, so just beat everyone and enjoy the story. 5 Nations. If StarCraft was mockingly called a Warcraft in space, then 5 Nations should be called a Warcraft in space, because it is following the same gameplay formula as Blizzard games, but everything is happening, you know, in space. But don't worry, this is not some grand strategy game or something like a Homeworld where the distances are huge and everything is happening super slow. No, in 5 Nations the background is space, but all the action is the same as an old good base builder RTSs. The game gets little attention because it's an indie game and they have no money to make a huge advertising campaigns. I found it just because I was especially looking for games like StarCraft, and it still took me an hour to get to this game. 5 Nations managed to stay true to old school gameplay, voiceovers, and even writing style, and that is great. COCOON. This wonderful game is made by the same designer who developed legendary Limbo and Inside, so that should grab your attention. Also, the fact that the game is a proud owner of more than 90% of positive review score on Steam. This is a unique take on the puzzle-adventure genre where each world exists within an orb that you can carry on your back. Here you'll have to wrap your head around the core mechanic of leaping between worlds and combine, manipulate and rearrange them to solve intricate puzzles. You will interact with alien environments and biomechanical devices left behind by an ancient civilization, journey through unique and diverse biomes, from industrial structures to massive organic caverns. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, that's gross. Anyway, you will have to discover how these worlds and environments are connected to one another. People who played it are praising the game and saying that it will bend you over, at least your mind. Core Keeper. Drawn to a mysterious relic, you are an explorer who awakens in an ancient cavern of creatures, resources and trinkets. Here you will mine relics and resources to build your base, craft new equipment, survive and power up the core. Of course, you will need to defeat giant monsters, discover hidden secrets, farm crops, cook new recipes and explore a procedurally generated underground world in a mining sandbox adventure for 1 to 8 players. And I can for sure say that this is a good game. On Steam you will find above 90% positive reviews left by tens of thousands of players who bought the game. Also, I must mention that Core Keeper is way more fun in multiplayer mode, so grab your imaginary friend and dive into adventures together. Thalassa, Edge of the Abyss. I am almost sure that you never heard about this game. It is not favored by Steam algorithm in any way. So as developers say, this is a single-player, first-person psychological drama set in 1905. And for me it is kinda obvious that this is a walking simulator as well. Nothing bad with that. Just keep in mind that here you won't be running shooting Cthulhu minions. Any minions, to be fair, because the game is set in our reality and has almost no fantasy elements. So here you will explore a sunken vessel and try to crack its secrets. Just don't read the game's description on Steam, the first part is a spoiler fest. Another case of saving money on a good commercial writer. They never learn. Anyway, this looks like a really fun game, but if you have your doubts, you can play a free demo on Steam. Neon Abyss. Here you will take control of one of the heroes traversing the dangerous underworld. You will be trying to find a way to remove the curse that made you immortal. If you get killed, you can go back to the Days End bar, where you prepare for the next playthrough. Over time you will unlock new rooms offering previously unavailable items and challenges. People on Steam are saying that this game is like Enter the Gungeon, but actually fun. They say that this is a very nice 2D roguelike with a huge amount of different weapons, perks and companions. By the way, these companions can be earned by finding eggs, which have a chance to hatch if you clear a room. Each of them has unique skills and can increase in power if you can manage to keep them alive long enough. But let us be fair, the only thing you can keep alive long enough is that cactus on your windowsill. Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. This is a really original and truly amazing game where you play as an ape. Yeah, your journey starts 10 million years ago, and by then we still shared our ancestors with gorillas and chimpanzees. Our last common ancestor with the apes, chimpanzees to be exact, is known to be roughly about 5 million years old. So you start as an ape and over the years evolve into an early human. The whole game spans from 10 million to 2 million years ago. Your task is for you and your tribe not to die and not to choose the path of extinction. The future of humanity is in your hands, like literally. As developers say, evolution was not written in stone. Your decisions will shape how you will overcome obstacles, increase your species, and what knowledge you will pass on to future generations. You can focus on specific attributes or choose a more balanced approach to survival. Your clan's ability to survive will be directly impacted by your decisions and choices, making each player's experience a unique one. It's a wonderful game reminding us that we are just starting to go on our evolutionary path as human species. 2 million years is nothing. Dinosaurs existed for 165 million years before they all died out. Except the birds, of course, add another 65 million years to that big number. That is a huge difference. Not as huge as your mama though.
Legend of Grimrock 2.
This title is perfect for those who like pineapple in potato salad and well-done steaks. Oh, wait a minute, it's a mistake, that is an absolutely different game and it shouldn't exist. This game is perfect for dungeon crawling fans because Legend of Grimrock 2 is one of the best there is. It has a modern execution but an old-school heart. Sadly, only the second part is verified on Steam Deck, and the first one is completely unsupported. That is kinda weird. So here a group of prisoners have been shipwrecked on the secluded isle of Nex. The island is filled with ancient crumbled ruins, mysterious shrines and vast underground network of dungeons and mines, so they want to escape and forget the vile crimes they may or may not have committed. They probably put pineapple in the potato salad and cooked steaks until they were well done.
If that is so, just leave them to die, they are not worthy.
Yeah, words of wisdom. Okay, I'm kidding, you are a generous god and you must help everyone in need.
Yeah, except for those infidels.
So, if the prisoners wish to make it out alive, they have to overcome all the challenges, form a team and descend through the ominous mountain. Although be warned that this game has one very annoying feature. You will be searching for hidden buttons all the time, and that is not fun at all. Remnant 2. This is the sequel to Remnant from the Ashes, best known as Dark Souls with guns. The game pits survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across beautiful but menacing worlds. Here you can travel alone or with friends as a team and explore strange new worlds and beyond, overrun by mythical creatures while trying to stay alive. There are multiple worlds to explore with different types of creatures, weapons and items. Game has branching quest lines, augments, crafting and loot rewards that will test the resolve of even the most hardened players in dynamically generated dungeons and areas. Most of the players are saying that the second part is better than the first one, meaning that developers learned from their past mistakes and made an actually awesome game. The Wolf Among Us. This is a gritty, violent and mature thriller based on the award-winning Fables comic books. You'll discover that a brutal, bloody murder is just a beginning where every decision can have enormous consequences. And it's not only what you choose to do will affect your story, but when you choose to do it as well. You don't need to know anything about the comics this game is based on, because events in this story are set before the events seen in the first book, and this game gives you an option to beat up practically anyone you don't like. Sadly, you can't import that energy-sucking coworker of yours in this game, but hey, you can beat him up in real life instead. I mean, if you are stronger than him. If not, just smile and blame your genes. TitanFall 2 Ultimate Edition. If you don't know what TitanFall is, you may think that this is only a multiplayer battle royale of some sort, but it is not. The game actually features a very nice, although really short single-player campaign packed with action and inventive twists. Here you play as militia rifleman stranded behind enemy lines who encounters a veteran Titan. You must work together to uphold a mission you were never meant to carry out. And of course, in Titanfall 2 there is a multiplayer portion of the game with fast-paced, first-person action with Titans and deadly pilot abilities. This version of the game includes all the deluxe and jump starter content, which includes new Titans, warpaint, weapons, tokens and even more, and this price is more than great. BioShock Remastered. This is an immersive sim shooter loaded with powerful weapons and interesting tactics. You'll have a complete arsenal at your disposal, from simple revolvers to grenade launchers and chemical throwers, but you will also be forced to genetically modify your DNA to create an even more deadly weapon, which is you. So there is only a small chance that you have never heard about the game, but I can assure you that BioShock is one of the best first-person shooter games ever created. And this remastered version includes some additional content, 65 Steam achievements, full controller support, modern textures, and of course 4K support as well. Second part is also discounted, but if you never played BioShock, start with the first part. The game is story rich and it would be a shame to skip a huge part of it. Blasphemous 2. Awakened in a strange new land and displaced from your final resting place, you thrust back into the endless cycle of life, death and resurrection. There is no other option than to explore this perilous new world and uncover its long-forgotten secrets. There is nothing game-changing or very innovative in the second part of the Blasphemous, but you know the rule, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Your journey starts anew in a series of enchantingly grotesque landscapes, oozing gothic charm and littered with unforgiving traps. How you tackle the labyrinthian world remains at your discretion. There is no wrong turn to be made, only scores to settle. Taking down your enemies won't be easy, but the game is offering more chances to customize and improve your skill set, along with several new unique weapons to wield, so victory might just be within your grasp, but probably not. Darkest Dungeon. In this challenging turn-based roguelite RPG, you will recruit and train heroes and send them to battle in a variety of dungeons. Yeah, as always, send others to do your own job. The interesting part is that these said heroes are very, human. In-game they will battle not only enemies but also stress, fear and lack of potato salad, by which I mean hunger. So you will uncover strange mysteries and pit the heroes against an array of fearsome monsters. Game may not look like it's a lot of fun, but it is, believe me. Even though people love this game, at times it can seem punishing and unfair, but in general Darkest Dungeon is fun if you like numbers, strategy and turn-based combat. Also, players are seeing many similarities with H.P. Lovecraft stories, like The Alchemist and famous Call of Cthulhu as well, not to mention overall dark and gloomy vibes. Dredge. Dredge is not just a fishing game, it's a fishing game with a twist. After dark it becomes a Lovecraftian fishing game. The world around you is teeming with creatures from the void, and when the night sets in, our worlds collide and cosmic horrors enter our realm. Not as scary as your ex-mother-in-law, but still terrifying things. So ideally you want to return to a harbor before the night sets in, so you won't become a dinner for some malevolent demigod of the depths. You can also dock in some safe location and sleep during the night. Of course, it is easier said than done, because the game uses a very cool time management mechanic. If you do nothing, time doesn't move. Like for real, if you just swing on the waves and admire the horizon, you can stay like this forever. But when you start sailing, the timer starts ticking, and at 6 PM Lovecraftian madness starts to settle in. This is a wonderful and honestly kinda relaxing game. Well, except when you go into mangroves. Oh, it's not relaxing at all. Anyway, the game is absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10. A must play.
And now thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Maybe.